I feel differently today than I felt the day after releasing Folklore, because even the day after releasing Folklore, Aaron and I were still bouncing ideas back and forth, and we just knew we were going to keep writing music. I didn't know if it was for an album of mine, or Aaron and Justin Vernon have a really amazing project called Big Red Machine. So we kept writing thinking maybe we were going to do some Big Red Machine stuff, but the things that we ended up writing really sounded more like a continuation of Folklore. So when I put out Folklore, I remember just feeling so proud and happy, but still like foot on the gas, like let's keep going, this is fun, I'm not finished with this. And everybody, all my collaborators, we all felt the same way about it, so we just kept going. With this one, I have this feeling of sort of quiet conclusion and sort of this weird serenity of like, we did what we set out to do, and we're all really proud of it, and that feels really, really nice.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because I feel like the stories, to some degree, there's some conclusion in this album too, from where you began on Folklore, and there's so much closure on this new record, and I want to dive into aspects of that, and I just feel like the future must feel wide open to you right now. But I want to refer back to the Long Pond sessions, and Jack Antonoff said something really poignant, which was, I've never made an album like this, I don't know if I ever will again.
Yes.
And in your mind and in your heart, you knew you wanted to carry on and there was music to be done, but it felt like for others, assuming that Jack was genuine because he's an honest human, he wasn't sure there would be an evermore or a chance to work like this again. Was there a sort of a melancholy to the end of Folklore?
Not really. I was just so happy that my world felt opened up creatively. There was a point where I got to as a writer who only wrote very diaristic songs that I felt it was unsustainable from my future moving forward. It felt like too hot of a microscope. It felt a bit like I was like, why am I just like, if I'm writing about my life and all it is, on my bad days, I would feel like I was loading a cannon of clickbait when that's not what I want for my life. And I think that when I put out Folklore, I felt like, if I can do this thing where I get to create characters in this mythological American town or wherever I imagine them, and I can reflect my own emotions onto what I think they might be feeling, and I can create stories and characters and arcs and all this stuff, but I don't have to have it feel like when I put out an album, I'm just like giving tabloids ammunition and stuff.
Yeah, there's so much judgment that would come along with every record.
Yeah, and constantly kind of like examining yourself in a way that feels like I felt like there would be a point in my life where I could no longer really do that and still maintain a place of like good mental health and emotional health and all that. So what I felt after we put out Folklore was like, oh wow, people are into this too, this thing that feels really good for my life and feels really good for my creativity. It feels really good for them too. Oh my God. I saw a lane for my future that it was a real breakthrough moment of excitement and happiness, and I kind of referred to writing these songs as a flotation device because
I love that.
Obviously this year is hell on earth for everyone, and seeing what your fellow humans are going through. The Long Pond studio sessions was the first time that Jack, Aaron, and I were in the same room, and I still haven't been in the same room with Justin Vernon, who has now collaborated on 2 albums heavily, and we've talked, but we've just never been in the same space together. It's pretty wild.
When Taylor Swift sat down for the interview, there was something different in her eyes. Not the sparkle of a global superstar on tour, not the confident grin of a record-breaking icon, but the soft, emotional glow of a woman deeply in love. As the conversation gently shifted toward her future with Travis Kelce, her voice slowed, her smile turned shy. And for a moment, the world saw Taylor not as a legend, but as a bride-to-be dreaming about forever. She didn't just talk about wedding plans. She spoke about commitment, partnership, and building a life that feels safe and real beyond the spotlight. Taylor shared that for the first time in a long time, she feels grounded. She described how Travis brings calmness into her chaotic world, how he makes ordinary moments feel magical. When asked about the wedding, She didn't reveal dates or locations, but she admitted that what matters most isn't the grandeur, it's the intimacy. She wants a ceremony filled with genuine emotion, surrounded by the people who have supported them from the very beginning. Her words weren't rehearsed. They trembled slightly, as if every sentence carried the weight of something sacred. She spoke about love not as a fairy tale, but as a choice, a daily decision to stand by someone even when life gets loud. It's not about the headlines, she hinted emotionally. It's about waking up and knowing this is your person. You could hear the sincerity in her tone. For someone who has written countless songs about heartbreak, growth, and self-discovery, this felt like the final chapter of a long journey toward emotional security. She looked reflective, almost overwhelmed, as if she had finally found the peace she once only wrote about. Taylor also touched on how their relationship thrives because they both understand pressure. Travis knows what it's like to perform under stadium lights, and she knows what it means to carry the weight of millions watching her every move. That shared understanding, she explained, creates a rare bond, one built on respect and admiration. She smiled as she described how he supports her dreams without ego, and how she cheers him on with the same passion she gives her own career. It's a partnership, not a competition. What truly made the moment powerful was when she admitted that marriage, to her, isn't about proving anything to the world. It's about building something lasting in private. She acknowledged that being in the public eye makes everything feel amplified, but she emphasized that their love exists far beyond cameras and social media. We're just two people figuring it out together, she said softly. That vulnerability struck fans deeply, because it felt honest, raw, and beautifully human. As the interview wrapped, Taylor's expression carried a mix of excitement and gratitude. She didn't present her wedding as a spectacle, but as a promise of loyalty, a promise of growth, a promise that after years of writing about love, she's finally living the kind that feels steady and strong. And maybe that's why this moment resonated so much, because it wasn't about celebrity glamour. It was about a woman choosing love with her whole heart. And in that quiet, emotional confession, fans didn't just hear wedding plans. They heard the sound of someone who has finally found home.